Good morning, y'all. Good morning. I'm back with another video. I'm here to give an update on how this car has been since I've built the engine and swapped it in here about a year and a half ago. So obviously me driving a car can give you a pretty good idea of how it's running, but yeah, let's just go ahead and get straight to it. I think the first topic that I want to bring up basically about how the car has actually been is probably just the health of the engine. The best way, at least for me, for everybody to understand, to explain how the health has been is basically just explain how the oil pressure is. So for instance, right now I put about 3,000 and maybe 400, 500 miles since the last oil change that I've done, and my oil life is at 75%, right? 75%. And let me check the mileage. Hold on. Yeah. So basically, I put about 3,300 miles on it, right? 3,300 and a half miles on it. So, and it's at 74% or 75%, right? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, 75%. So basically, comparing that to the last engine that was in here, which is the OEM engine, I was always getting around like 45 to maybe 55 psi. I mean 55 oil life remaining percentage or whatever, right? Like I was never this high at that mile range. I drive the car for 3,000 miles because I was always doing my oil changes at 3,000 miles. And hold on, let's listen real quick. You guys hear that, man? That is so sick. That sounds beautiful, for real. It sounds absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, man, I was always getting, let's get a little air, yeah. So I was always getting around like maybe 45, 55 PSI, maybe 60 sometimes, but I was never up there in the 75% oil life health. So I don't know how these C6 Corvettes gauge, you know, how much oil percentage you have left. I don't know if they go by mileage or they actually have like an oil level sensor. I'm not 100% sure how, but I just know that when I was running with the old engine, it was always giving me that. Okay, cool. Sorry. When I was running with the old engine, it was always giving me, you know, less percentage left. So I'd always change the oil more often, which was at 3,000 miles. And to me, that was the quickest thing that I realized when it came to driving a car and putting the break-in miles in is the percentage of health. Like, look at this, 75%, right? So, and I put the same amount of miles from the other engine, and we're talking, what, 75% versus 45%? It's a big fucking difference, right? So, also oil pressure, this car never goes below like probably 40 psi. And whenever you're in throttle, whenever you're on the gas, no matter what RPM it is, no matter what it is at all, you're definitely sitting above 40 psi. Cold starts can be anywhere from 50 to 60 psi. I know when I first started this car up, I think I had 60 psi in here for like the first probably like the first few startups, and then it came down to like 55, and it came down to 58 and 59 and things like that. So it's been pretty solid, y'all. Like I can honestly say like this car has been solid this whole damn time, and I am absolutely in love with this car. So another thing that I could talk about is probably just, and obviously I'm not driving anywhere right now, so I'm just kind of driving along, just cruising pretty much. But another thing I could talk about is the things that I think I did very well, and I believe I definitely, you know, I took my time researching. I think I did that very well. I took my time watching the videos, and I was watching videos as I was going through the process of building the engine. Obviously, as you guys can see on videos previous that are already posted on my YouTube, I built the engine at home, right? So I built everything at home, right there in my room, in front of my bed, and along with the garage and living room. Like I built the engine at home. The engine was built 100% at home by me, right? Only thing that I did that I had done by another place was basically when I found the used block, I sent it to a machine shop. They let me know what I could do, what I could bore it out to, things like that. They went ahead and bored it out. They checked the deck, and they checked the main bearing, or the main bearing bore or something like that. Line bores, I think is what they call it. And that was it. I got the block back and started assembling it. I bought all the parts, bought the pistons, everything that goes with the pistons, the assembly, the rings. I got the rings at home. I did everything at home. Everything was built and assembled at home, at home, at home. So the reason why I preach that so much is because of the fact that like I never knew I had it in me, first of all. Like I never knew I was able or capable of building an entire engine at home, let alone a goddamn LS, bro. I mean, this is a 6.2 liter, it's a V8. Dude, it was intimidating for a while, but I ended up getting it done, dude. It's been running good ever since. So I believe that I definitely did a lot of things good. Could I have done better on maybe, you know, doing more oil changes on the break-in? Yes, I think the oil changes, the amount of oil changes that I did on the break-in, I probably could have did more of that, but I didn't. Which will lead me into the next topic, which is obviously how I broke in this engine, right? So I broke in this engine by basically, well, I'll just give you the rundown, right? So once I built the engine, I primed the engine in the house, right? So I had a pump, like a chemical pump, and I had a port to plug into the engine, and I pumped all 6 quarts of oil and some change into the engine. I primed the entire engine to the point where oil was coming all the way up to the rockers and things like that, right? So what is this on the, I'm gonna have to let the windows down, but let me go ahead and make this video quick so I can let these windows down more. But yeah, so I primed the engine at home, right? So all the oil that was supposed to be in the engine was already in there by the time I started it up. I didn't have to fill it up in the engine bay, none of that stuff. It was already primed. I had oil going through all the oil galleys. I cleaned the entire block beforehand, so the car was ready. I mean, the engine was ready to go, right? So once I primed it, obviously I swapped it in the car. It was already ready to go. The engine started up pretty fast, right? Started up basically instantly. Once I did that, I did three full heat cycles, right? 3 full heat cycles on the engine. So basically what that entails is I would start the engine up on a random day, right? In the car, start the car up, let it run for 15, 20, 30 minutes. While it's running, I am, it is so empty out here, bro. I love it. But while it's running, I'm literally like holding the RPMs at 1500 RPMs, 2000 RPMs, 1000 RPMs for minutes at a time. I'm holding those RPMs. Like right now, I'm hovering at basically right around 1600 RPMs. I was holding that for 15, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 20 minutes at a time, just holding that RPM with the pedal, right? Reason being is because I wanted the parts of the engine that receive oil supply from the oil, like flicking on it, basically. I wanted it to receive oil. So that's essentially why, receive oil supply. Because obviously if you just let the engine idle, it's not going to be taken through the ringer. It's not going to go through a full heat cycle. So it's not going to get those parts in the engine that are supposed to be oiled by oil flicking on them, right? Which is basically your top end, your lifters and your shit, like, maybe lifters, but more so like the rockers and stuff like that. Oil coming through the push rods, stuff like that. But I'm also doing this in the cars at like 60 PSI, 45 PSI of oil pressure, 50 PSI of oil pressure. So I'm making sure I'm feeding this engine quite well with a bunch of different ranges of RPMs, right? So I did that 3 times. On the 4th time is when I actually drove the car, right? So I started up on the 4th time. I drove the car for about 10 to 15 miles. Then I shut it down. Now at this point, right, this oil that I primed the engine with in the house, I'm doing all of this on that same oil. It's just regular 5W30 oil for the car, right? So I primed the entire engine, did all of that stuff, drove it for 15 miles, all in that same oil, right? Then what I did was I drove it again, right? And this is when I put more miles on it. So I was putting about 50 to 60 miles on it at this point, after the 15 miles. So I'm talking about, I'm on the highway like this. I'm driving in manual mode mostly, so I'm over here rev matching every time I can rev match, letting it fall all the way from the RPMs high, coming down all the way to an idle. I'm letting it do its thing, going through the entire RPM range, basically. Just vroom, vroom, like just kind of running the car through it, just basically putting the engine through a bunch of different, how do you say, like, I don't know what the fuck. Why is he doing all of this? It's not even necessary. He was already in the right lane far back, and he changed over 2 lanes to get back in the right lane in this tight spot when he could have just went forward and got over later. Whatever. He's getting back over now. What the fuck is he doing? Whatever. Anyways. So yeah, I'm doing all of this, you know, on the engine, and I'm talking about I'm cruising that high with you. I'm cruising at 3,000 RPM, cruising at 3,500 RPM for 3 minutes at a time, rev matching, coming down in gears to freaking let it just, the RPMs fall from like high all the way to low. I'm taking off in first gear and going like kind of higher in RPM RPMs, and then I would shift gears. Like, I'm just making sure I'm putting this bad boy through all the RPMs, all the usable cruising around, kind of aggressive RPMs to just get it to do its thing, bro, to kind of get everything working, you know what I'm saying? That's that was my whole goal, to do all of that. To me, you know, that's gonna put this through its own break-in of its own, basically, to where, like, I don't have to worry about the engine never going over 1,000 RPM because I'm governed or whatever, right? No, fuck all that. I can put this bad boy through all the RPMs that I want with tons of oil pressure and tons of oil supply and let it do its thing, bro. Like, let it live. Like, because I want to run this engine, you know, for it to be fast, to be built, to be boosted. I don't want to baby this thing. I'm not driving another car. I don't want to baby it. So through all the research that I did, I figured that was the best way to break it in for me. But anyways, long story short, I did all of that. Then I parked the car back home. Then I changed the oil again and the filter to go 5W30 full synthetic with a new filter, and that's it. It's been on that oil ever since. So essentially speaking, I'm sorry, I'm twisting my words up here, but essentially speaking, I did all of my heat cycles and my break-in miles, which is like basically 50 to 70 miles for me. I did all of that on the same oil that I primed the engine with, which is regular 5W30 oil. Then I changed it. I went to 5W30 full synthetic Mobil 1. It had all the fucking shits all on the bottle, the dextrose this and the green leaf and all the shit they put on these oil bottles now. I had all that stuff on there. So I did all of that. And once I did that, man, I street tuned it, so I got a remote tune, and I've been driving it ever since, pretty much, right? So it didn't take long for me to break this engine in. It's been running ever since, and as you can see, at 34, almost 3,500 miles, after that initial break-in part, I'm at 75% health of oil, and I check the dipstick on this bad boy regularly, so I know it's good. But just to have like a metric to go by, at 75% health, which last time I drove this car, it was actually at 77% health, but through the miles coming down, it came down to 75 by the time I filmed this video. So yeah. So anyways, I know I spoke a lot about that. I didn't mean to drag that along, but that's essentially the best explanation I could give as to how I broke in the engine and then what I think I did well with the whole build. The last thing I want to talk about before I get into future plans for the car is how I built the engine, right? So, and I'm just gonna be real quick about it because I've already been recording. It's about to be 20 minutes now, I believe, of total time. Obviously, I'll edit this down and cut out pieces, but I put the main bearings at around 2000s, right? And then I put the rods around like 25,000s. If you have good oil supply and you have the rods have a slightly looser or slightly more open oil clearance, they will have a better time accepting more oil from the tighter oil clearance of the main bearing supply and how that's all going to shoot through and do its whole little thing. So I'm really not explaining this very well, but that's essentially why I spec'd it like that. That's why I didn't go 25 and 25s or 2000. That's why I went 2000s on the mains, 25 on the rods. And obviously, when it comes to the engine, aluminum engine, all the clearances are going to loosen up just a bit because of the fact that it's aluminum. It's going to stretch once it goes through the heat cycle and it gets hot. It's going to stretch and kind of expand. So that's the same thing with the piston and valve clearance, right? That was I forgot what that was at, but I remember it was pretty good. But that you're going to get more piston and valve clearance because that's going to open up as well. But the next thing I would say that I expect was the piston rings, right? So I went 3,000s on the top ring. No, sorry. I went 3,000s on the bottom ring and about 28,000s on the top ring, right? So that's how I expect the pistons. And then I have forged rods, hyper eutectic pistons, the stock crank, and then obviously main bearing rod bearings. And that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, this engine, I would say it's slightly stronger than stock, and you already know the stock LS3 can take about 1,000 horsepower for a very long time if it's tuned right, if it's driven right. And so that's essentially it. That's the reason why I built it that way, because obviously I didn't really care about it having the most NA power. I didn't care about having what do you call it, a high compression. I didn't care about going 416. I wasn't into all of that. I didn't care about none of that. I just wanted to have a properly built stock size engine that is going to be fast as fuck. It's going to be faster than a regular cam LS3 for the most part. This is a stage 2 BTR cam, the NA cam, so it's 220 something at 220 video sometime soon, because I do think this car makes right around like 440 wheel horsepower. I'm not 100% sure, but I do think it makes around that. And so I hope that when I get it down to tune, I'll be able to finally see what this engine makes, right? Besides that, I guess the last thing I can really mention is what I have planned next for the car. And essentially, I want to twin turbo this car. I want to put twin turbos at the rear. I want to put them at the back. I know. It's frowned upon. People don't like doing it. They hate it. I get it. It's impractical, blah, blah, blah. But it's what I want to do. I enjoy working on this car and having little projects in my head to how I want to build it, what cam I want to run, yada, yada, yada. Everything that I've learned about cars, I've learned on this car. Nothing else. I've had no more examples, no more live, nothing. I've learned everything I can learn about engines and cars on this vehicle right here. So, is this the one I need to take? No, it's the next one. So I've got no other explanations, no other examples. This is literally it, for its entire life, right? So that's why I want to do everything I want to do with this car. I have so many plans for it, and obviously the next plan I want to enact on this car is a twin turbo setup, or even a single turbo setup. But basically, I just want this car to be turboed. I want this car to be turboed as fuck, like for real. So I have a plan about that later. I still need to buy more parts because I plan on buying. Okay, well damn. Everybody wants to get off on this exit, right? Shit. So I plan on buying the entire kit just piece by piece, and then I'll go ahead and post all the videos of me building it and putting the kit together, putting all the parts in the car, learning how to weld for the first time, and it's just gonna be a whole nice, just interesting time. So that's the next plans for the car, man, and I just hope that, everything goes well, and obviously I don't post videos much. I've been very discouraged on posting videos about this car because I feel like I have nothing to post. I don't have a bunch of money to bring this car to the track and to race people and to build it and make it 1,000 horsepower, because that's the new 500, and I don't have the funds to go supercharger, go drift, and buy another car and build another car. I don't really have that type of I just don't have that. I don't have the resources for that right now. I'm a guy who just works jobs, bro. I just work, and I try to just make money, save money, and survive, basically. So I'm very proud of what I did. I'm very proud of what I accomplished, and I do look forward, and I'm very excited about the future plans for this car. I just need money, bro. I just need money. Money talks, bro. Like, I just need money. And when I get the money, I'm going to twin turbo this car. I'm going to boost this car. I'll go nitrous. I'll go supercharger. I don't care. I want to go twin turbo. That's my #1 plan. But if I got money, it might not. I might just buy some out of nowhere. I don't know. We'll see. That's just how it goes. I might just go buy an A&A kit for no fucking reason, because I just got the money to do so. You know, you just never know. You just never know. Overall, guys, I recommend, if you have a car that you're hesitant about building the engine because you blew the engine up, or the engine blew up, or it failed, or whatever, and your insurance won't cover it, or your insurance won't fix it, like me, I will recommend, guys, it is a really nice experience to just put the parts together, put your time together, buy all the tools, buy everything you need, and just build an engine. If you don't even have an engine or a car to build, fuck it. Just research an engine that you've always wanted to have. Like, if you've always wanted a Supra, do some research on 2JZs, man, and just build that bitch. You don't even have to have a car to put it in. Just build it. Just have fun, man. So I will see you guys next time, and you guys essentially just be safe, man, and have a good time. And thank you guys for watching the video. If you guys watched the video, and if you have any questions in the comments, I'll try my best to answer questions. But you guys have a good one. Peace out, and that's pretty much it, guys. So peace. Have a good one.